Hey guys, I'm Brad from Brad Builds. Let's destroy this WRX. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am to start this. This car has been sitting in my garage for the past 3 days, I think, 4 days, and it was in my driveway before that for another 3 days, and I've just been staring at it, waiting for the time to be able to tear it all down, waiting for parts to get here. Slowly, everything's been coming. So to catch you guys up to speed, I have ordered every part that I thought I needed. The last part actually came today, the head gasket repair kit. It took me hours of finding all the parts online to make sure I found the cheapest parts. I actually got a new hood for $70. Brand new. It has some dents in it, which is why I got it for so cheap. But for 70 bucks, I got a brand new hood. Fenders were stock from Supra. Supra? Oh, Supra, is that a Supra? Fenders were stock from Subaru. A lot of stuff was stock from Subaru because it was cheaper than to get them from eBay. Let's get on to the goal of this video. The goal is to get everything torn down, everything up here. The hood, the fenders, the bumper off, the lights. That way I can make sure we have all the parts I need. We're actually gonna start with the hood. We're gonna get the hood off, and then we should be able to pull the front bumper off. The headlights both need to come off. The radiator support, this is the radiator support. I showed you guys that in the last video. That whole piece needs to come out. It has bars here and another bar there and a bar on bottom, and they're all bent and broken. Then I should be able to get the radiator and the condenser out. The hood latch needs to come out. The hose needs to come out. Fenders, fender supports. So before we get into anything, I've actually never keyed a car before. So I went inside and I grabbed a key and I just wanted to see. Oh my God, it's so hard to do. How hard do you have to press? What? I'm really pushing. I'm leaving tiny scratches. When I see people key cars, holy crap, the paint is gone. It's down to bare metal. You have to dig your key in. Do people just have really sharp keys? Let me try this one. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Wow. That was so satisfying. Okay, I'm done. I'm done destroying things. Maybe not. Whoa! That one went quick. Okay, I see how you could do that. I see. The feeling of it. One more time. Woo! Okay, to actual car work. Let's start by getting the hood off, and then we will pull the front bumper off and maybe jack the car up. Now that the hood is off the car, all of these pieces need to be reused on the new hood. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all them off. For this is the rubber guard that when the hood goes down prevents debris from flying into the engine bay. And it's actually stuck under the kink there from where it crashed. So I'm gonna have to bend this metal back to get the rest of this off, unless I can pull it off and just feed it through the hole. But then all this needs to come out, and the hood scoop on the other side needs to come off. So I'm gonna do that now. Got those pieces off, which were a bigger pain in my butt than I would have thought. There were so many of these little quick disconnects, but they are the opposite of a quick disconnect. They are the most annoying disconnect. Now we need to get this front seal off, so I need to unkink this and see if I can't pull those clips out and salvage them. All right, let's rip all this off. Next thing we're gonna do is get the front bumper off. And to do that, we're gonna jack the car up. So we're gonna jack it up right now. It's magic. Before taking it off, I just quickly wanna show you guys what it looks like under here. The rain guard is missing, but you can see that the mounts right here, where the radiator support mounts to the front bumper, were snapped off in the collision, both sides. I think the bumper is actually only held on by those two plastic clasps. The two on this side and the two pieces here. And then I think it should just pop right out. And welcome back. I'm here this morning. I got my coffee. I'm ready to go. So yesterday we finished getting the hood off and the bumper, which didn't look like a lot, but took more time than it probably should have. We had initially said we were gonna take the radiator support off next, but I was looking around this morning and I noticed that there's spot welding here. I think there's spot welding behind the fender here as well. And then on the other side, there's a spot weld here. And then I'm pretty sure there's another one behind here. So the fenders actually have to come off next. That way I can drill out those spot welds. The headlights can also come out right now, and the front bumper impact bar can come out. You can totally see just how pushed back that is. I mean, this is supposed to be a straight piece. It's supposed to be right here. And you can just see how like bent everything is. We're getting a little bit closer. Now to take the fender off, I'm pretty sure, I know there's some bolts here, there's a bolt here, and there's bolts here. I'm also guessing there's some bolts in here, and then some bolts under there. So I need to get this wheel guard off, and to get the wheel guard off, I need to get the wheel off. Now, of course, the one thing this car did not come with were the wheel locks. So I've watched a few videos online of how to get wheel locks off when you don't have the key. And what I've come to is that you get a 12-point socket that fits the normal lug nuts. And then you put it onto the lock nut and you bash it on with a hammer. And then it's tight enough where you can loosen it up, and then you separate the two, and then you do it to all of them. So I went out and just got this because I didn't have a 12-point bolt. So hopefully this works and I don't just destroy the lock nut and destroy the socket. So that ended up working out really well, actually. The first time I was trying to do it with a breaker bar, and it just like, I couldn't get it straight enough and it kept coming loose. So it came out really easy with the impact. So I'm gonna do that to the other side. We'll take the wheels off and then we'll take the fender off. I would not plan on doing that to wheel locks that you wanna save because they are thrashed up. What I'm more surprised about is the socket I used is in perfect shape. It held up beautifully. Now we're gonna get the wheel guards off and the fender. All right, so another issue. I feel like I always say, oh, we'll just take the fender off, and then 10 hours later, the fender's off. So what happened this time is this piece goes right here. And when it popped out, I realized that the fender continues. I mean, I figured the fender would probably continue to here and then maybe go back, but it actually continues all the way down, and it's actually bolted on right down here. So the whole entire side skirt has to come off now as well. So the side skirt is coming off, and then maybe we'll be able to get the fender off. Maybe the whole door will have to come off. I don't think so, but at least the side skirt also has to come off. See how it's like comes out and it's like
here?
No, this is supposed to be straight the entire way.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
See how it's like bent?
I thought that was expected.
No, I thought that was straight.
You thought this part was bent and
Yeah.
this part was fine.
Yeah.
Can you just bang with a hammer?
No, because it just you just can't. I've seen videos online of them doing it, and you can't. You have to replace this, which means this comes to here, but the bottom piece goes all the way to here, and it pans out to there, which requires professional welding.
Not your mom's welder?
No,
So
we're looking at $2,000.
No!
I'm just kidding.
I was like, that doesn't
I'm
seem
just kidding.
reasonable.
I'm gonna bash it out with some wood and a hammer.
That's what I expected you to say. And I was like, you would not. He would try to fix it to the end of the year before we go shop.
Yes. I'm sorry, I had to mess with her. The impact zone, it is like kind of bent, and we are going to bang it out with a piece of wood and a hammer, maybe a mallet. But we'll get it straight before putting the radiator support back on. So now we gotta do the other side. We'll get out the side skirt, the vent, the wheel guard, and then the fender. And then we will have the front end completely disassembled except for the radiator support.
Oh, you coming to help? I need help. I can't get it out. Yes, help me. Thank you. Thank you for the help.
Can you just not lick my face? Thanks. No, not lick my face. Taking that fender off was so much more smooth, knowing exactly what I needed to do. I don't think I've ever taken a car apart this much before. This front impact bar is bent. It is turned that way. And we'll see, when I put the radiator support in, the new one, you'll see how far over it goes, or actually it's gonna be short. Because this needs to come that way. So it'll be just a little short, and I'll bang it out until it fits perfectly. This side doesn't look like it was bent at all. It actually looks very straight. I know it bends, but that's part of the design. I'm not sure why on this side of the car it's different than on this side of the car. Maybe it was to compensate to fit the battery. Usually that kind of stuff is symmetrical. Or maybe it's not, I don't know. I've never really done crash repair. So I've done a crap ton of engine work and a crap ton of suspension and other sorts of car modification things, but body repair? Nope, not really something I've ever done. Right, Coyote? Just kind of winging it. Not happy. So I think the best course of action with getting the radiator support out, the radiator and the condenser, is just leaving the condenser and the radiator in there like they're stuck. I should drain the radiator first, but then take the radiator support out because these are stuck. I cannot get them out. Undo all the mounting brackets, like the radiator mounting here and here, and then the condenser mount here and here, and then drill out all the spot welds, and the radiator support should kind of just pull back, and the radiator and the condenser should stay there, and then I can take those off one by one. So before going any farther with the radiator support, I'm actually gonna drain the radiator. I can feel that it has weight in it and that it's gonna leak everywhere. So I wanna get that fluid out of there. Now that I have the top of the radiator support loose, I think I'm gonna take the radiator and the condenser out right now instead of waiting, just because it'll give me a lot more room to work down here. We can now get rid of the radiator support. We're gonna take off the top half first. So this bar with this one, and this one. We're just gonna drill out the spot welds here, here, and there, and then we can easily take this bar out afterwards. This thing looks more and more crazy every single time we take another part off. It looks like something straight out of Mad Max. I love it. We got the radiator support off. Now these lower radiator brackets can come off, and then we're gonna pull off this little bit of wiring, which is connected via these plugs. And then we'll get this wire off too. And then we have to remove this bottom radiator support, which means we have to drill out all the spot welds. So we'll get those pieces out, and then we should be finished disassembling the WRX. It's looking pretty sweet. All right. After like 30 spot welds, that lower support arm is off. There's so many. I mean, just on this side alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I drilled a couple out too far. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Just on the front alone. That's another 22 for the rear. 44 spot welds. Like I've said 1,000 times in this video, I've never done this kind of work before. So it's probably totally normal, but for me, that's crazy. Looking good. It looks like this is actually bent. I didn't think it was. You can kind of see it curves in, especially there. It has a curve. It's supposed to be totally straight. So I'll have to bash it out with some sort of wood. Maybe I'll put a piece of 2x4 behind this lip and then like pull it this way somehow. Well, I guess we'll figure that out in one of the next episodes. We got a lot off in this episode. I mean, like so much that my garage is full again. And it was just cleared. Right before doing this video, it was totally clean, totally clear, and now it's 100% full, and I can't walk anywhere again. Too many parts, too many parts, too many parts, too many parts. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video and you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. I put out a video roughly every week. I'm Brad, and I'll see you guys next time.